Alright, so last time on Pokemon FireRed, we went through the Cerulean Cape to meet with Bill, who'd accidentally the-flied himself into a Clefairy. And now that we're done with that, time for the gym! So this time around, we're going to be going up against a water type, so if you started with a Bulbasaur, you're still doing pretty good. If you started with a Squirtle, you've got something to tank these attacks, but not something to really do damage. And of course, if you started with a Charmander, well, I'm sorry. Now, this guy isn't too bad. You can't completely avoid him just by going through the other path, but that's not what I'm about. Also, God, the swimmers in this game just look so aggressive.
I like to imagine if you take that path to get away from him, he just is harassing you the whole time, like, hey, go here and fight me, hey!
Oh, I see, you're just too much of a coward, huh? But anyway, he does have a Horsey, which, not really too impressive at a base level. They are a water type. Shelter, on the other hand, a little more tricky. Shelters typically have some ice attacks as well, though I don't know if this one does. I do love their design because they're just a clam with a black pearl that's sticking its tongue out at you. Also, they're typically relatively hardy, but that one wasn't. I mean, I guess I do have electricity, so, you know, there's that. No, impossible! I'm taken aback. This is my weird pose. So we had that swimmer, and then for some reason the other trainer, who you can also avoid if you just take on Misty from the side, is this lady. I mean, we're fighting right in front of her. She can see this. So Picnicker Diana has a Goldeen, which is also very weak to electricity, but it's fairly high level. I believe Goldeen also knows Supersonic as well. Maybe that's at higher levels, but I remember them being annoying for that reason. Speaking of things that are annoying, oh, does learn Supersonic at this level. Thankfully it missed.
Heiyu's not fast enough to dodge sound.
Good for you, Heiyu. Alright, so that's both of the trainers in this gym. Their gyms are still pretty short thus far. They don't have many trainers to take on. So we're gonna heal up, and we're going to fight Misty. So Brock was a pushover. Misty, on the other hand, not so much. All about that all-out offensive with water-type Pokemon. So, Misty here has two Pokemon, again just like Brock, and just like with Brock, again, her first Pokemon really isn't too bad. Staryu can pull off a few tricks, but paralyzing does help. However, unlike Brock, we do actually have to worry about Misty's second Pokemon. It's not nearly as much of a pushover as Onix. It does not have the debilitating weakness of Parry existing and being able to just slide tackle anything that's made of large rocks.
So anyways, you just spent 2 turns powering up. Now it's time to actually fight.
Yeah, so... Thankfully, Staryu went down without too much issue. Because of Heiyu's low HP, this battle's actually really dangerous because, Heiyu's not weak to water, but she'll still go down at pretty much the drop of a hat. So we've got Starmie. Starmie has a very nasty attack called Water Pulse. I didn't use Double Team too many times, however, because the Water Pulse attack, very dangerous, will wipe out pretty much everyone in my team and can even cause confusion. And I do want to avoid getting hit by it, so that's why I use Double Team. However, I didn't want to use it too many times because Starmie also has a move called Swift, and also, that was really convenient right there. And basically, Swift is an attack that cannot miss. So if the AI thinks, oh hey, their evasion is so high that there's no point in trying to Water Pulse this, they will use Swift instead. Hey, you cannot survive that many Swifts. That's the major problem here. But thankfully, I got really lucky with the
RNG?
RNG, yeah. Which, I don't even think it took me that many attempts to get that lucky, though I did have to do a couple of attempts to feel out how many double teams was appropriate before the game just said, nah, not worth it, I'm gonna use Swift instead.
Starmie is notoriously absurd for this point of the game, to the point where Let's Go removed Starmie and replaced it with a Golduck. Psyduck. Psyduck, I meant.
Yeah, Golduck would probably still be fairly tough, but maybe not quite Starmie levels. Starmie is just vicious.
Yeah, the joke with Psyduck is that she was going to use Starmie and then Psyduck showed up instead.
That's pretty great.
That doesn't actually happen in the game, it's just what fans assumed happened.
Oh, okay. Oh, also, now that we've actually met Bill, when we go to use his PC function, it's no longer the unknown PC, it's Bill's PC. So we're just gonna go over the Pokemon we've caught up to this point. And yeah, thank goodness that actually went really well. If you've got a Pokemon with higher HP or like actual resistances to water, that's pretty good. Like if you've trained an Oddish, not a bad choice for that battle. And again, Bulbasaur is just fantastic for it because you've got a whole lot of status effects and some super effective moves to work with. But my current team pretty much depended on Heyu to get very lucky and not die to do enough damage. But that's it for this episode of Pokemon FireRed. Next time, we're gonna move on from Cerulean City. And we never speak of Starmie again.